What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the current markets that are forming right now. We're starting to see some very interesting things happening within the current market space. As you guys can clearly see that Litecoin and the rest of the other cryptocurrencies seem to have hit a bottom. You can see on Litecoin clearly hitting the bottom right here. We have Bitcoin hitting a bottom, Ethereum doing the same, as well as XRP. And I would like to discuss in depth in today's video as to whether or not the bottom is in. Are we going to actually start to approach some newer highs, and are we going to start to correct back to the upside? Because I know yesterday and the past couple of days have been a very big scare factor for a lot of people, seeing the market dip as abruptly and as crazy as they did. And I know a lot of people were worried and confused. I do know that a lot of people that have supported me on Patreon and that have joined me on Patreon were aware that this dip was coming and have prepared the correct ways, and we're actually making quite a big bit of profit by shorting the market. If you guys are interested in that, definitely make sure to check out the links in the description where you guys can sign up for my Patreon. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Also remember to follow me on Twitter for crazy new updates at CryptoVOfficial, and let's jump into today's episode. So before we jump into the technical analysis, just super quick, we are approaching almost 14,000 subscribers. I think by the end of the week, we'll actually hit that by Sunday. So that's absolutely amazing. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel and really pumping up the publicity of the channel and crypto as a whole. Now, yesterday's video, we did discuss some very interesting things. Yesterday, as you can clearly tell by the title, as well as the thumbnail, we were discussing that the bottom, is it in for XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies? You can see clearly on the Ethereum chart right here that it looks like we were approaching the previous resistance and the previous support that we discussed in the prior video that was 2 days ago. You can see here for reference where we were in the ascending funnel that was forming, and you can see we were actually fairly up here, and we had projected that the dip was going to pull us all the way back down to this area, this white circle that we have, and you guys can clearly see that that is exactly what the pattern followed. This was all shared for you guys on Patreon as well as on YouTube, a little bit more delayed, but the reference and the call was to fall down to the support, and that is exactly what we did in yesterday's video. That is exactly where the price went. So right now we're starting to see market recovery, and that's what I want to explain in today's video. As you guys can see, out of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything is in green, everything is looking fairly nice. We're starting to recover off of the bottom. So clearly we did retest a support on all of these cryptocurrencies that we have to mark and figure out as to whether or not we are going to be heading back upwards into the newer highs in the near future. Now you can see Bitcoin is only up about 0.9%, but the other cryptocurrencies seemingly are moving up faster than that. Ethereum at 2%, XRP at 2.9%, Bitcoin Cash at 2.8%, Bitcoin SV 2.7%, Litecoin 2.3%. So on average, about 2 to 3% the market is up as a whole. Now, to jump into some of the technical analysis, because I know you guys really like me to jump into that very quick, we will spend quite a bit of time the remainder of today's video specifically analyzing and figuring out the markets right now. So there's a few points that I want to look at. As you guys can clearly see, this is XRP, this one is Ethereum, here is Bitcoin, and here is Litecoin. XRP is the only coin that seems to have a lot more FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt that affected its price compared to the other cryptocurrencies that I want to discuss with you guys. I guess we'll focus on Ethereum for right now. Those of you interested in XRP, I'll discuss that very soon, but I do want to go in that order of Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and then XRP in regards to marking and how I actually figured out how these prices were going to play out. So as you guys remember, in the previous two videos, we were tracking Ethereum's movements. You can see in the thumbnails there. And we noticed that we were kind of trending fairly high and got rejected from our resistance up here within this upwards funnel. You can see we managed to kind of trend sideways within a small channel that we opened up. But you can see immediately after that, after facing numerous attempts to break through this resistance, instead of heading higher up, we didn't get that confirmation. We actually closed a candle below the previous support at 256. As we saw previously, it was holding very well. Unfortunately, we actually managed to close below there. And then the second we saw that, that was a go green light confirmation to short the crypto, or that all the cryptocurrencies were bound to fall to its previous support. Now, when you look at where it could potentially move down to, the immediate response, or at least in my mind, was to look at its uptrend that we have here. This is our uptrend support. And I was anticipating that we would correct all the way back down to the support line that we managed to escape so far away from. And you can see that is exactly what happened. So yesterday's candle, we actually managed to retest that support, immediately got rejected by the bulls, moved up higher and closed the candle right at around its previous resistance, or now support, of 225. You can see today's candle, we actually had some pretty wicked movements. We fell as low as 208 on Ethereum and then immediately corrected back up to almost 238 on the coin. But you can see it does show that there is a clear support right here. And if we can close today's candle above the resistance of 225, we should be able to trend a little bit more sideways. And then inevitably, we all believe we should start to see movements like this, movements back up here. Now, we did break our previous support, so those are going to start to act as a resistance. But it would be fair to assume that we could probably long the coin back up to at least 255 in regards to a move sell-off right here and take those profits. All of my trades will be mentioned on my Patreon. If you guys were interested, that is linked in the description down below. Now, moving on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Litecoin, very similar in regards to their charts, so we can kind of mash these two together so we can jump into XRP. So as you guys can see, we do have the DueDEX chart located right here, and I do have some very interesting news to actually share with you guys. I was actually looking on my Coinbase, and I was actually hit with this notification. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys noticed this too, but it seems like Coinbase Pro is trying to join the wave of margin trading. That's pretty crazy. Eligibility is rolling out throughout 2020 and will email you when you're eligible to margin trade. You can borrow up to $10,000 from Coinbase Pro and increase your buying power to trade with 3 times leverage. Borrow at a competitive 0.02% interest rate or daily interest rate of 8% APY. Only pay when funds are in use. So that's absolutely crazy. Not only are they going to be implementing leverage trading to Coinbase Pro, which is something we've been bashing for the longest time, but they're actually offering margin trading as well. So that's pretty crazy that you can see it right here, margin lives on your profile page right here. If you change your mind, you can always visit the margin tab in your profile to learn more. So some pretty crazy stuff in reference to DueDEX. Now, the only thing, once again, that Coinbase Pro is lacking is in the fact that, unlike DueDEX, Coinbase Pro cannot short cryptocurrency. DueDEX allows us to short the market, which allows us to make more plays and more trades. And that's why I love DueDEX so much more than Coinbase Pro so far. I think eventually they'll probably allow shorting. But as of right now, DueDEX is my main go-to when I'm trading cryptocurrencies, and Coinbase is where I convert or liquidate my profits into US dollars and send to bank account. Much easier that way. So we can see on the DueDEX chart that the price has actually broken out of this downtrend right here. Similar to Bitcoin, we weren't really tracking it that much, but you can see the downtrend was broken. We can just extend this out. So right now, as of this moment, the DueDEX chart is looking very similar to Bitcoin's. I'm still using Bitcoin's charts on TradingView just to reference the market, because we do know that there's a lot more you can do on TradingView than on DueDEX, but I'm using DueDEX when I make my trades on Patreon to buy long and to sell short, specifically Bitcoin. So if you want to take advantage of those, I did link DueDEX down below. They do have a sign-up bonus of, I believe, up to $70, and it does help support the channel as well. So if you wanted to check that out, I do greatly appreciate the support. Now, to wrap things up with Bitcoin and Litecoin. So we knew on Ethereum that when we broke down, we were probably going to retest the support before hitting the high-low MMA. Bitcoin and Litecoin didn't have that. What I noticed was there was a good chance we'd fall down to our high-low middle moving averages, and you can see that is exactly what Litecoin and Bitcoin did. And not only that, mentioned in yesterday's video and prior, if we were to break the resistance, or sorry, break the support of $9,500, we can just draw this in real quick, around 95, which is right here. We knew that if we broke this, there was a very high chance we'd fall down in between the red and green bands. Exactly what we did. We fell all the way to $8,500 and we retested $8,800. So our call on Patreon and our call on YouTube has been extremely accurate the past couple of days. So that is absolutely amazing that we saw that prediction happen, and that is exactly where we went. We fell all the way down to this support region, and that is exactly where we've been hanging out. So that also happened within Litecoin. You can see right here, Litecoin fell once again back down into its high-low middle moving averages, trading in between $58 and $62 per se. And it seems like now we may have bottomed out, and there's a chance now we could start to recover and potentially potentially retest resistances that were supports up at around $72 for Litecoin, maybe even $9,500 for Bitcoin. So a long position into the future may be something to consider very soon. Now, to wrap up today's episode with XRP, XRP seems to have the most FUD. Not only did it fall below its uptrend, it fell below its high-low MMA, and now it's going to start to see this high-low MMA act as a resistance. Very shocking that we fell this low, but it's very hard for me to trend and graph XRP. This is a very shaky market. As you guys know, I've been posting about it on Twitter, and it looks like as of right now, there's probably going to be some more consolidation, and merely if you're trading XRP, please focus on the other cryptocurrencies to reference where XRP could potentially move to. If we see Bitcoin bounce up off of this and head up higher, or Ethereum, which is doing currently, bounce up off this and heading up higher, XRP is bound to do the same thing. Now, that is going to wrap up today's episode, guys. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe. We're almost at 14,000 subscribers. Turn on post notifications. Make sure to follow us at Crypto V Official at Twitter, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.